Hello, my name is Ella. I want to tell you how I started learning English and became more confident. When I was younger, I didn't like speaking English. I was always afraid of making mistakes. In school, I would avoid raising my hand in class. Even when I knew the answer, I stayed quiet. I didn't want my classmates to laugh at me. At home, I loved reading short English stories. I could understand the words in my head, but saying them out loud was difficult. I thought, what if my pronunciation is wrong? What if people don't understand me? One day, my teacher gave us a homework assignment. She asked us to stand in front of the class and talk about our favorite hobby. I felt so nervous. I didn't know if I could do it. That evening, I sat at my desk, staring at my notebook. I wrote down what I wanted to say, but my hands were shaking. I practiced in front of the mirror. I said, "My name is Ella. My favorite hobby is painting." It sounded simple, but I felt proud of myself. The next day I stood in front of the class holding my paper. My voice was quiet and my hands were still shaking, but I spoke. I said my sentences one by one until I finished. When I looked up, my classmates clapped. My teacher smiled and said, "Well done, Ella." At that moment, something changed inside me. I realized that speaking English wasn't as scary as I thought. That small moment gave me hope. After that day, I decided to practice more. I started talking to myself in English at home. I would say things like, "I am cooking rice," or "I need to do my homework." At first it felt strange, but I got used to it. I also started listening to English songs. I wrote down the lyrics and tried to sing along. Sometimes I didn't understand every word, but I kept trying. One evening, I watched a movie in English with subtitles. The actors spoke so clearly, and I tried to repeat their lines. When they said, "How are you?" I said it too. When they said, "Thank you," I practiced saying it with the same tone. I started learning new words every day. I kept a small notebook in my bag. Whenever I heard a new word, I wrote it down. Then I would look it up in the dictionary and practice using it. One day, I was walking in the park and saw two tourists looking at a map. They seemed confused. I hesitated for a moment, but then I thought, this is my chance to practice. I walked up to them and said, "Do you need help?" They smiled and said, "Yes, we are looking for the bus stop." I gave them directions using simple English. When they said, "Thank you," I felt so happy. That small conversation gave me more confidence. I realized that people appreciate it when you try, even if your English isn't perfect. After that, I promised myself to keep practicing. I spoke to my friends in English whenever I could. I watched more movies and listened to podcasts. Every little step made me feel stronger and more confident. After my small success with the tourists, I felt more motivated. I realized that speaking English wasn't about being perfect. It was about communicating and connecting with people. I decided to practice every day, no matter how small the effort. At home, I started talking to myself in English while doing daily tasks. For example, when I was cooking, I would say, "I am cutting vegetables," or "I need to add salt." It helped me think in English and feel more comfortable using the language. I also continued watching English movies with subtitles. One of my favorite movies was The Lion King. The characters spoke clearly, and I loved repeating their lines. When Simba said, "I can't wait to be king," I would say it too. It felt like I was part of the movie. Listening to songs also became part of my routine. I enjoyed learning the lyrics and singing along. Sometimes I didn't understand every word, but I didn't let that stop me. I knew that with time, I would understand more. One day, my school announced an English-speaking competition. The idea scared me at first. I thought, what if I forget my words? What if I make a mistake? But then I remembered how far I had come. I told myself, "Ella, you can do this. It's just another chance to learn." I signed up for the competition and started preparing. I wrote a short speech about my favorite hobby, painting. Every evening, I practiced in front of the mirror. I focused on speaking slowly and clearly. Lily, my best friend, helped me practice. She listened to my speech and gave me tips. "Speak louder here," she said. "Smile when you talk about something you love," she added. On the day of the competition, I felt nervous, but excited. I stood on the stage, looking at the audience. My hands were shaking, but I took a deep breath and started speaking. I talked about how painting made me feel happy and free. I shared how it helped me express my emotions without using words. As I spoke, I saw people in the audience smiling and nodding. It gave me the courage to keep going. When I finished, the room was silent for a moment. Then everyone clapped, and my teacher said, "Well done, Ella." I felt a rush of pride and happiness. Even though I didn't win first place, I felt like a winner. That experience taught me something important. Speaking English is not just about words, it's about sharing your thoughts and connecting with others. After the competition, I continued practicing every day. I joined a local English-speaking club at the library. The group met every Saturday to read books and discuss them. At first, I felt shy, but the group members were kind and encouraging. They didn't laugh if I made a mistake. Instead, they helped me improve. Week by week, my confidence grew. I started speaking more, not just in the group, but also with friends and strangers. One day, a tourist asked me for directions in the park. I gave them clear instructions and even had a short conversation about the weather. Moments like that made me realize how much I had improved. Now I make time for English every day. I read short stories, listen to podcasts, and even write in a journal. Learning English has opened so many doors for me. It's helped me make new friends, try new opportunities, and feel more confident. To anyone listening to my story, I want to say this: don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is a chance to learn and grow. Take small steps every day, and you'll be amazed at how far you can go. Thank you for listening to my journey. I hope it inspires you to keep learning and never give up.